Gun violence and new laws to prevent it at our state capitol today. State senators meeting to talk about preventing exactly what happened in Winder yesterday. Atlanta News First political reporter Doug Reardon sat in on that meeting just one day after 2 students and 2 teachers lost their lives in that shooting. Doug, what came out of those discussions?
A lot of good conversation, Tracy. This meeting was actually scheduled almost a week before the tragic events that unfolded at Appalachia High School yesterday. They told me they even considered canceling it, but said solutions to this persistent problem were simply too important to wait. So this study committee was made up of both Republicans and Democratic state senators here at the state capitol. It was a bipartisan effort today. For the past 2 legislative sessions, a bipartisan bill that would require gun locks, gun safes, or some level of state-mandated safe storage failed to gain any passage at all. Many health and police experts hand those things out for free, but no one right now in Georgia is required by law to have them. Sarah Walker with the gun violence prevention group Moms for Change asking lawmakers why that is today and getting emotional in the process.
We have more children dying from gun violence than we do car wrecks, but think of all the safety measures we have in cars. My children have been in car seats. They have airbags and shields. But my kids could die going to school where they should feel safe.
No decisions made today. This study committee will next meet on September 19th. From the state capitol, Doug Reardon, Atlanta News First.